What is up, guys? Mcdoubles back again with a brand new video, and today we are going to be playing some Duskhaven Vanilla Plus, making a brand new DK. I'm excited for it. Really easy to get into this once you get your first guy to 55. We set it up with my DH in the last video. That one took a while to do, I will say, but I do want to show you guys the DK once again so that we can maybe move on to whatever's going to end up being my main, and I've got my eyes set on finishing that monk playthrough. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's jump right in. Okay, so very quickly, guys, thank you to Crom once again for showing me and telling me about all this stuff. So if you actually go back to Stormwind, I can show you on the screen right now. You could talk to the original demon girl that you start your DH quest with, right? You can actually get a special spell called Teleport to the Council. You do that, and you get here to the Black Temple Summit. So downstairs, there's some general goods vendors and stuff. There's some portals up here. And then all the way at the top where we are, there's this Illidari Supplicant. He sells you Reigns of the Fell-Touched Terror Wing, and we also get the Illidari Horns transmog for only 10. That's going to be really big for DH players, right? And then a Batling as well. And so you get all this from doing special DH only daily quests. So that's really fun. We have 6 right now. I could get the horns and maybe 2. And I just wanted to point that out because somebody was like, hey, did you do any of that? How do you do that? Like, what's going on with these special currencies? Well, that's what it is. You get your own little guild class hall, which is badass. And now, of course, back to the DK. Okay, boys, and here we are. Just got to get my add-ons ready. Now, as you guys can see, I'm going to move over to my LVUI profile. I have a brand new one for this because I couldn't convert the Ascension one, so I'll put that in my Discord. If you guys do use LVUI, you can use my profile the way I'm about to, where I'm just going to click on Scarlet Monk, who's the one I worked on it with, and boom. So it looks like we start off with Icy Touch, so that's great. We have Plague Strike, we have Death Coil, we have Blood Strike, we have Death Grip, yo, and we have Auto Attack crap we can take off the bar. So do I have anything else? We have Blood Presence, right? So strengthen the Deathknight with the presence of blood, increase your damage by 15% and healing by 4% of the damage dealt. Wow. So this is going to be more old school, I think. We have, because I remember literally frost tanking, by the way, on Deathknight once upon a time. So it used to be possible to tank with all sorts of specs. I don't have any of the other stances yet. So, okay. The last thing I'm going to do is put this to 16 points because it turns out I have some horrible version of astigmatism. I'm like a negative 5.5 in both eyes. If you have bad eyes, you kind of know what I'm coming from with that. And yeah, apparently I just don't see. I even have double vision, I've learned. So this entire time when I'm telling this story, I keep saying look down the barrel as if I'm looking down it like I'm going to shoot myself. But what I really mean is I'm aiming, okay? Like aiming and looking down the top of the gun. That's what I mean, okay? But I was like looking down the barrel of a gun with like my family. I know that's gonna sound like the most American thing you've ever heard, but I don't touch guns and stuff like that, really. So they were like, hey, look at this, we got this new thing. And so they were like, look down the barrel. They were kind of trying to teach me how to do it, although I've already done this stuff before. I've shot at a target before. I use bows and arrows, literally, I swear to God, guys, in real life. But I was like, okay, they were like, don't use just one eye. You're not supposed to use one eye because you have to use both eyes, because if you use one eye, it kind of like puts you over to the side a little bit. You're gonna miss your target more. I mean, I'm really simplifying it. And I was like, what do you mean? Guys, if I use both eyes to stare down the barrel of a gun, I see 2 guns. I was like, y'all don't see 2 guns if you focus on it? I can hear screams coming from the crypt, by the way. But yeah, apparently I have double vision. I googled it, and when I look at my left fist, for example, if I stare at it on the right side, I can see 1 fist. But if I stare at it from like a left eye point of view, I see actually an invisible part of my hand that I could stick my finger through, like right next to my normal hand. And it happens with guns and stuff like that too. So double vision, astigmatism, I mean, God just didn't want me to be able to see, I guess. Anyway, Death's power grows. So I won't read through every single one of these. I do want to get to the max level gameplay, but it's Deathknight stuff. I don't want to spoil it, to be real with you. You'll be able to see me play through it rather than me read every bit of the lore. So we have to swear fealty to Darien Mograine. We can go for the quest objectives, right? Lord General's Sword is what we get, or we get Rune Soul Blade. So 1-hand or 2-hand. We get Journeyman riding as well, which is really a big deal. It turns out mount riding is like 280 gold or something, right? So okay, I was a hero for my people in life. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm about to be a hero for my people in death too. That's how Deathknights work, man. Also, he put me on the floor to swear fealty to him. Like, that's a power move, man. He's into some weird stuff, Mograine, right? Anyway, Death's power grows. Go for that Rune Soul Blade. I am really excited to play Deathknight. It's actually the main reason I thought, let's go DH to 55, and then let's play Deathknight right after, right? It just works perfectly. So we get a Naxxramas Death Charger and Sigil of the Dark Rider for more Blood Strike and Heart Strike damage by speaking with High Lord Darien Mograine and then using my Death Gate to travel to Arcaris. Okay. And then Soul Feast says, High Lord Darien Mograine wants you to acquire 10 of the Lost souls near Karazhan, I get Soul Reaper. So that's the brand new ability. We will go over this. I know it's not literally brand new because there's a version of Soul Reaper on live, right? But it didn't exist when DKs first came out. And this is going to be their special little custom class ability. Every class gets one. So Soul Reaper. Now, in my tutorial, the numbers were different, but this looks like what they're going for right now. 1 minute cooldown. Strike the target for 165% weapon damage and afflict the target with Soul Reaper. This does 1700 shadow damage after 5 seconds and then increases my haste by 10%. Big, right? So I did pass out after my last DH video. I wish that had gone out a few hours earlier. I think everything would have been better if it did, but I literally had it done by noon, and then I thought, okay, 5 minutes, I'm gonna rest. Just 5 minutes while everything uploads, right? I passed out for 4 hours, so trust me, I'm actually not making light of that. I'm really disappointed in myself, but the point is, I think we got 900 peak population yesterday, so I think we could still hit 1,000 peak, right? I think a lot of the people playing right now are like all over the world, obviously, so it's gonna be kind of tough to get everybody online at the same time, because you got like EU people, you got NA people, you got people from Asia and East Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, all these different places, right? I'd like to see 1,000 just to see the power of our army, you know what I mean? Like, I've never been that guy. Like, I don't even have a guild on this server yet. A lot of you guys are asking me for that, but I like to stream and make the guild because it's easier to invite everybody, right? But I actually don't know if I want to make a guild yet, and it's not about me not wanting to commit to the server. It's actually more about me wanting to just play normal, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to, you know, just be a normal person. I don't want to be like the leader of a guild and everybody knows who I mean, everybody already knows who I am, but I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to some people, but it's also a lot of work, you know? Like, right now, I'm thinking about my Ascension guild, and I'm like, you suck. Like, those guys probably need you right now, but you're doing other things. It's all because I took the responsibility of having a guild. So, do I want to have a bunch of, like, Mcdoubles enclaves in all these different private servers? Maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think totally in the comment section below. Okay, lucky for us, guys, I was right, and you can turn the Soul Feast quest into this version of Darien Mograine, so if you do die, don't be sad. That's probably exactly why they added stuff outside. All right, captured souls and Soul Reaper. And here we are, using the Shadow Dance icon, so I'm pretty excited to do big damage with this, not gonna lie. Okay, so we're in Arcaris right now. I just got my Death Charger Reigns. I really hope there's not like a long quest line I have to do. You know, the DH one was really perfect. It was super quick, super easy, free XP. You do start, by the way, level 60 on your DK. It's a true hero class in that regard. I do like that. Might as well, right? The original way would stop you at 58. I mean, who cares? Okay, let's use the Naxxramas Death Charger Reigns. What kind of pet is this? Nice. I do like that. That's nice looking. Okay, they're teaching me about rune forging now, but we know how to rune forge. Just make that happen real quick. To me, 2H Frost is one of the coolest and most fun specs that's ever been made. Where kings walk. Deliver the letter to Rin. We're done! Yes, I get to play the DK immediately. Freaking amazing. So I do like this mount, by the way. I do think it's a little bit more thematic. You never want to use a skinny horse, right? Like, you want one of the bigger horses with armor and stuff like that. Just a casual furbulg sitting outside the bank. No big deal, I guess. Look at this. We're starting to get populated, man. You have to understand, for vanilla, where nobody has an excuse to be in the city, this is a big deal. Most people are not max level yet, so everybody that is level 60, big congratulations if nobody told you already. There are 28 people that are level 60 online right now, and currently it's 1 o'clock in the morning American time. I'm just gonna say American time, and we have 450 people just casually online. So very few people are max level. The meta is to be determined, you know what I mean? But okay, we are level 60, and we can immediately jump into playing. So really, Death Knights are free, man. Like, once you get up to this level, you can immediately play your anti-hero if you want. Okay, I'm Mount Hyjal. Hit me up. I need some more stuff. Did they give me enough gold to learn all my stuff? I don't think so. Yo, oh god, that's so crazy. Oh no! So that's the downside of not having the intro quest give me gold and stuff. Okay, just some things to keep in mind, guys. Frost Presence is the tank stance. Interesting, right? Blood is the damage one, but you can also go Unholy for massive attack speed and movement speed and a faster global cooldown. Exactly what I remember from OG Wrath. Now, we have to pick and choose right now and then do some dungeons to get more gold to get everything else. I think that's going to be okay. It's not a huge deal, honestly. So we got most of what we could play with right now. We'll get more, like I said. These are the talents, though. I did not play OG DK. So, I mean, I actually did, now that I think about it. I just never got it to max. So I guess I'll be okay. Let's make a spec real quick, guys, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Let's go back to Stormwind as well. Okay, so I've been doing some M+, guys. I've actually been doing some dungeons. I'll show you the spec I have right now. I just don't have the gold to respec, but I would change it. I don't want to go over every single talent. I feel like it's going to be like 10 minutes of the video, but I will go over what matters, and that starts off with the Might of the Frozen Wastes. I did miss this at first, despite knowing it exists, and that's because you don't see the final talent bonus for it until you put all the talents in. But this is what you need for 2H or dual wielding, right? When using a 2H weapon, Obliterate does 50% more damage. Your damage is increased by 4%, and your Frost Strike guarantees Obliterate or Howling Blast to crit. There's some big cooldowns, right? 15% more strength with Unbreakable Armor. We have the Howling Blast for a lot of AoE damage on a 20-yard range. It's pretty good, actually. Rhyme, that's pretty good as well. 15% more Obliterate crit, and Obliterate has a 15% chance to reset the cooldown of Howling Blast. That's great when it happens, although it is only a 15% chance. I guess another pivotal talent would be Killing Machine, alright? So we have melee attacks have a chance to make my next Icy Touch, Howling Blast, Frost Strike, like a crit, which is pretty good. So just auto attacking basically gives me a free crit. I was a little greedy. I didn't go all the way into improved Icy Talons. I feel like the haste is good, but I've actually switched over to using my Blood Presence. I was using the 2H Unholy Presence. I really enjoyed it, but I kept playing with it, and I was like, 15% more damage is a lot. I don't know. Personally, I'm perfectly willing to switch between the two, but this is where we are right now. I was able to buy more spells, and it looks pretty decent. So again, we're going to go something along the lines of this. Something like start with the Howling Blast, go for this Plague Strike, go for the Obliterate. We could go for the Soul Reaper, pop a Death Rune off the Blood Tap right there. So Blood Tap is going to convert a Blood Rune instantly into a Death Rune. Now, a Death Rune can be used on anything. Why are you parrying everything? But yeah, anyway, the Death Rune could be used on anything, so it makes it a lot more versatile. It turns purple right here, you can see. So it looks like one thing you really want to do is get rid of those Blood Runes as fast as you can, and you can convert them actually with Blood Strike into a Death Rune. So that's one more talent I'll talk to you guys about, because this one I went back and forth on. This increases the Blood Strike and Frost Strike damage you do by 10%. And in addition, whenever you hit with Blood Strike or Pestilence, right, that the Blood Rune you spend on it will become a Death Rune. Very important though, guys. You can actually waste your Death Runes on the Blood Strike. So you only want to get it off when you're converting a Blood Rune into a Death Rune. So as an example, let's say I go in behind this target, right? I go for that Plague Strike, the Howling Blast. I have 2 Blood Runes, and I'm just going to convert them. You see, 1, 2. So you see how they're both Death Runes now? So I could just wait it out. We can go for maybe a Soul Reaper right there. One thing I feel like I've noticed is that regardless of the way you play, it feels like to me, Death Knight is pretty slow. It's a slower one, but it still does big damage, right? So I could spam the Frost Strikes. I'm getting parried from behind right now on this guy. But yeah, I do think it perfectly outlines what I'm talking about. It's a little bit slower. You kind of have to manage your runes right. But the basic gist is keep up your diseases and go for Obliterate unless there's multiple targets, and maybe go for a Howling Blast instead. And if you have a bunch of, runic power to dump it with Frost Strike. I would say that's a pretty, solid TLDR. So I want to start off, guys, by showing you some of my M+ runs. So let's get into M+ Vanilla, guys. It's really fun. So I jumped right into M+ on this, and if you guys don't know, M+ works on Duskhaven in a very interesting way. First of all, you get to do M+ with the old school dungeons. We're talking Scarlet Monastery, we're talking Stockades, we're talking Sunken Temple. And for me, the first one I got into was Lower Sunken Temple. Now, I did get to do this one on my DH, and I just want to go over some of the boss encounters so far and give you guys an idea of what's going on. Lower Sunken Temple is actually kind of busted right now, and I do hope this one boss gets his mechanics changed, but I want to talk about Jamalan, or however you say it, right? So we start the fight, and basically he starts one-shotting everybody with Chain Lightning. So this guy has a Chain Lightning, he has a Mind Control spell, believe it or not, and I think that's basically all that really matters. Now, we basically finally figured out how to do this by taking him to a wall and then LOSing him, and also it turns out you can outrange the Chain Lightning as well. So we were just playing with it, constantly taking him to the spawn, respawning, fighting him again, and it was a mess, but he did eventually die. I will say, for the most part, every other boss in Sunken Temple is pretty easy. There's like another guy, it's the dragon boss, you guys can see, and you will die on this guy pretty randomly, and that's a big norm, I think, right now for Duskhaven, is that we're seeing the very beginning stages of their version of M+, and yeah, you can get one shot out of nowhere. It's more like retail, where if I look at my other monitor for a second, I will die, but then other times, some of the bosses, like this one right here, so easy that you don't even realize you're on the boss, and you clap him without anybody really taking damage or dying. So it's all going to come down to memorizing these new mechanics and trying to really understand what's going down. Lucky for me, though, I was able to get Sunken Temple done. We did not get any loot off this one, but I really love the way the progression feels, and I just thought that was worthy of bringing up. Let's make it clear. In most versions of WoW, there's like 3 or 4 different tiers of content you have to push through, right? Normals to Heroics to Mythic 0 to Mythic Plus, which is very different from Mythic 0, and then maybe raiding, and then raiding in a better way. Let's say a Heroic, a Mythic raid, whatever like that, right? On this, it's different though, because this is vanilla, and there was only normal dungeons in vanilla. So what they did is they said, okay, we're just going to add M+ right onto that. Your normals are your normals, and then you go straight into M+, and the different tiers of M+ will dictate the skill required. Now, you might think that that's worse, but really think hard about this. Why should you have to do random Heroics for no reason? We've been here with Ascension, and it really hurts. It sucks, because sometimes when, we're at the beginning stages, you're just bored. Heroics don't take any skill. There's no, effort, right? And at the same time, what's the point of Mythic 0? It's just yet another bit of random gatekeep. It's not hard, but it does waste your time. I actually appreciate the fact that I get to go straight to the content that I want to play. Plus, I will say, with all this custom gear and the way it's working right now, it looks to me like every piece of gear that you acquire is just going to mean a little bit more. I like that. I don't have all these epics and stuff, right? It's more of that vanilla feel where you do have to earn your stuff. One more comment, we'll jump to some live commentary. I did notice that you do drop your mythic keys at the end of a dungeon, right? And then everybody rolls for the mythic key. And while that might seem like it's not the worst thing in the world, because ultimately giving everybody a key means that once again, gear becomes devalued and everybody gets epics whenever they want. At the same time, it can feel pretty bad because I would have guys that were like, oh, I won the key and I'm not going to continue with you guys. I'm going to hoard all my keys for my guildies who did not participate in getting that key. And it's like, well, I understand where you're coming from by wanting to do that, but it really sucks for the other 4 people, because if any one of those other guys won the key, everybody would be moving on besides you, of course, into that M+, and maybe you would. We wouldn't know about your little saving it for the guild thing if somebody else won. We would have all just continued. And so I'd like to see maybe 2 or even 3 keys drop. It could just be 2 to start, because I don't hate the idea, once again, of gatekeeping the keys like this. I love the idea of epics mattering. I don't know, maybe it's a boomer mindset, but there's a part of me that thinks to myself, okay, if people earn their gear, and it's not crazy, it's not like we're gonna force you into a, you know, a 3-month grind, but they still have to earn it in hard content and stuff like that. That's just cooler to me. But anyway, that was my Sunken Temple run. It was pretty fun overall, but we jumped into some more, guys, and it was even better. So I'm gonna go for the Howling Blast, get all that damage off, go for the Plague Strike. I'm gonna go for a Pestilence and spread everything. I'll go for the little baby Soul Reaper on a random guy off on the side, get a Death Rune off that, spam Frost Strike because I can. Go for the Obliterate on this last guy. I did more damage because of all the diseases. Little Plague Strike on this, and do a Frost Strike into an Obliterate. And the other guy that beat me right now is the DH, right? And that makes perfect sense because DH is really good. We showed it in my last video. Now, I will say longer fights are better for me because I need time for my dots to tick. It's not like, what the hell? There's stuff right there? It's not like versions of Frost DK where you can just spam Howling Blast. You actually have to play with your runes, which I'm not used to because it's the old school runes. So you can see, like, sometimes with the short fights, I lax, right? But on this one, I bet you I'll be towards the top. The only guy that's going to beat me is going to be the DH. I actually just missed my Plague Strike right before that Pestilence, so that's actually nasty. On multiple levels nasty too. That's the sad part. Look at that. I crit towards the end, right towards the top. I felt like I was about to be so embarrassed. I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna come in first. Okay, Pestilence on all this. You see, like, the ghosts, they die fast, so like my AoE is pretty much non-existent. So I just have to rely on the big Frost Strikes and the big Obliterate crits, which is fine. I really enjoy the playstyle. I knew I would like this. I've always liked this, man. Always. You really can't look at Frost 2H Obliterate, you know, DK and say, yo, that's not cool. Like, that's lame. Like, you could say it's not your thing, fine, but it's definitely cool. It's definitely a really thematic. I mean, it's literally a Death Knight. Like, that's it. That's, to me, what a World of Warcraft Death Knight is. Not even Unholy, not even Blood. It's a Frost 2H Obliterate DK. That's what I see a DK as because of Arthas and stuff, right? So, guys, I won't lie to you. I thought about talking about this in different ways, but I'm just going to mention it one time quickly here. Because there is, like, no chat moderation right now on Duskhaven, you sometimes see some weird stuff. Like, there are mods, but it's 24 hours in the day and, like, 2 people, I think, and they can't do 12-hour shifts. I wouldn't ask that of them because I don't think they get paid for it. Now, I did hear they're getting 3 more soon, so that's really going to basically fix it right there. Or 3 more devs in totality. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're building up their team, right? Am I gonna die? Can I AMS the Flame Strike? I think I can AMS the Flame Strike. Go for the Obliterate. We came second place at the end. They're pretty good. That's Blood Mage Thanos, by the way. Because there is no chat moderation, like, there's been, like, a couple people that are like, okay, I'm gonna be, like, really, really bad in chat and get reactions out of people. So since they know that this server is, like, 98% people that watch my channel, because remember, there were 15 players when I played, maybe up to 30 at peak or something. Now we have 500 normal, maybe hopefully up to 1K peak, we shall see. So they're like, okay, let me say something negative about Mcdoubles or do some misinformation thing that's supposed to make you, you know, get tricked and be like, oh god, what the hell? And let me put that in the chat, and they're actually getting some people. My recommendation is you just don't fall for it. But like this guy in particular, Ron Paladin, I literally, and come on, I play a lot, so you know I'm not telling a lie here. I literally have seen this guy in global chat for like 4 or 5 hours straight talking about me. And I'm like, dude, holy crap. Great Axe of the Warrior. Oh, that's BIS for me right now. We also got a Rune Etched Dagger, but that's obviously not for me. And we got a Shadowfang Keep +4, which I would use, by the way. Come on, do I get the weapon or does it get sniped by Redditon? Or even Zuggish? That's the tank and the dual wield guy, by the way. Okay, I got it, dude. And I rolled a 99 even though I'm by myself. Okay, we did it, dude. Great Axe of the Warrior. That is the pre-raid BIS. Dude, that is awesome. That I needed. 38 strength, 17 expertise. So I'm capped in that regard. Big deal, because I'm getting dodged and crap. I'm having fun. Like, obviously, things are going to be crazy in the beginning. I mean, remember the first, like, month or 2 of Cataclysm? Like, even Blizzard couldn't get it right. But what I will say is that even though it's kind of crazy, I have been able to complete every Mythic Plus I did. So even if you guys end up encountering some BS mechanics, let Let me just tell you now, it is doable, all of it. So like I am telling you now, even if it seems impossible, it is doable, although that doesn't mean things don't need to be changed. Anyway, we're gonna do more M+. I'm gonna put on my Great Axe of the Warrior. Oh, Lord, it's huge and beautiful. And you know I like it big. I'll take it, bro. All right, Fallen Crusader. All right, there we go, guys. A slight blue glow on my weapon now. I'm so much stronger. I'm just curious, by the way. We're at 516 on the high end. We were at 415 on the high end. Yo! Okay, there's a quick +4 SFK. Do we get anything? Another one of those hit rating trinkets. Like I said, I only have one trinket, so I will go for that again. Another Great Axe of the Warrior, but that's a +4. Okay, so I just got a +4 Great Axe of the Warrior to replace my +2. I'll take it. I mean, it is an upgrade. 41 strength, 20 expertise. All right, we got the token. Do I finally win my first token? Of course not. And then we have a Scarlet Monastery Cathedral 6. Don't think the 6 is doable until we get more gear. Okay, so I do want to talk about this dungeon because you guys are going to be doing SFK Mythic Plus quite a lot. There's some skips I learned here, so I'll show you guys that. The first skip I want to show you guys comes right after the Blind Watcher boss, I believe, right? The Worgen Blind Watcher. You go through the door, you immediately go left, you jump on the roofs, right? And you make it all the way through the roofs to, well, the other end where you could skip all the guards in the middle. So that was the first one, right? That was pretty good. The second one was a little bit more big-brained. You can skip over some stuff if you're too fast, and it can get kind of annoying, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So you just go to the very back of the room after going up the stairs, right in that little, you know, wolfy area, like the stables almost. There's a lot of hay in there anyhow, but anyway, you just follow the wall, right? You end up jumping on this small platform that's made of wood, and then you jump up on the stairs and you're good. So that's pretty sick. And here we are already getting upgrades and stuff, which just feels nice, man. Now, another thing I will say just as a comment about this SFK is that Nox added this weird, creepy Death Knight girl that just stands there. You can't talk to her. She's in almost every important room of SFK, and she just stares at you. It's genuine nightmare fuel, and I do hate it, but I'm curious, does anybody have any clue as to why? Somebody was like, is this Nox's waifu? It's like, maybe. I have no idea. So this was a +4 SFK. I think 8 is the highest right now, and what I can show you guys is that with this brand new weapon, I'm doing a lot more damage, right? I really enjoy the playstyle of 2H Obliterate Frost DK. It's really fun. It is a mouthful, though. You don't have to say the Obliterate part, I guess. But as you can see, my AoE potential just goes through the roof at this point. Only really the Demonhunter was something, once again, that I was ever competing with, but even with just the axe as an upgrade, I already saw myself starting to close the gap with DK. Really fun using that blood presence right now as well. I don't know if I want to go for the haste one or not. You know, the unholy presence, it's so fast, it's smooth, it feels good to play, but 15% more damage. I'm still kind of hard stuck on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But as you can see, the AoE is pumper. It's really strong, really fun, and I do suggest all of you, when you get like a level 55 or 60 guy, just make a DK. What do you have to lose? What if you like it more? And plus, then you can tank, right? Now, one thing I will say is we definitely need more healers, so if you're a healer main, get on here, bro. Help us out. Okay, guys, so I am sorry this is a shorter video, but I got it out literally as soon as I got my big DH video out yesterday, so I didn't have that much time to actually play. But one thing I want to show you guys is that you can actually get 3 professions, this is what I've learned, on the Duskhaven server. So I can find the mining trainer, find the JC trainer, find the blacksmithing trainer, and take all of those, which honestly for a DK would be completely broken and actually pretty hype, although getting the mining up from scratch is definitely gonna suck. Personally, to me, a perfect server would actually up the amount of skill points you get from gathering, because think about it, why does it matter how fast you get to the max level of it? What matters is what you collect, where you collect it, when you collect it, what your diligence is with that grind. That's why I like how, at least on retail, they boost you to the most relevant content. But anyway, like I have mining, I have blacksmithing right here, and I will also reiterate that because we're on a Wrath client, we actually do have inscription implementation and also JC, as I said as well. But there's no JC guy. I have to go to the Draenei place. But anyway, I can get all 3 of those, and I can be completely broken in that regard, to be honest with you. You can go to your skills, right, like the old school, and you can see it. So you can have 1 more of JC or mining or anything like that, but only 1 gatherable profession. That's what I heard. So I guess one more thing I could actually toss in is that I did do some HYJAL questing, and I'm tossing it in because I thought I talked about it earlier. I don't think I did. Okay, so I just got done with Oakheart, got slaughtered by another DK. I'm assuming he beats me in the gear department. I wish I could inspect him. But I did learn something which is good by inspecting his stuff, right? Like his actual breakdown, which is that I'm using Blood Strike too much. But anyway, the point is that we can actually talk to this guy, turn in the daily for killing Oakheart, and get a cache of the nightmare. So I am excited for this. It's 20 gold, which actually I really need for abilities right now. But also, we might be able to get some good gear. So let's see. Boom.
What?
But basically, I did Hyjal questing because it turns out Hyjal, after Chapter 2, is genuinely an endgame zone, right? So all the 60s are supposed to be there doing dailies, and if you're lucky, you could do Oakheart, right? So Wanted Oakheart, a raid boss that I did do, and I did this as soon as I got the 60 on my guy, which was pretty sick because you do apparently get an item from it. Now, it is currently bugged, so please beware. Some people were getting crazy good loot off the final chest. I got nothing personally, and some other guys didn't get anything either. So that's something to keep in mind. There's always going to be a few mistakes here and there. It's going to get fixed, I already know. But I was able to kill this giant Trent boss in Hyjal called Oakheart, like I'm saying, and it was just awesome. I came in like top 7 or 6 on the DPS charts, just hit 60 fresh. Another DK with gear was in there. It was awesome to see him because I thought, oh, I could be you someday. And I even looked at his rotation and learned something, so that's pretty cool as well. But yeah, I do recommend when you get to 60, you got to go to Hyjal, guys. Quickest way to get there is winter, spring, and run, as far as I can see. I don't think you can get in there from Ashar. I guess I could be wrong, but I think it's just winter, spring, and you go there and you just start doing the quest chain, right? You do all the dailies. I don't know if it gives you a currency. There could be hidden things there. We'll have to figure it out, but Hyjal is a badass endgame zone, so I recommend you try. Okay, guys, listen up. I'm in Arcaris right now on the DK. We just got done with some Mythic Plus on this guy. I just wanted to quickly show off the DK stuff, how easy it is to get, and I think that might entice people to make a DK as soon as they get to max level or even 55. I'm gonna go to Stormwind real quick, and I just want to talk to you guys about how awesome it would be if we got 1,000 players online. So first things first, I'm the realist, right? And as you guys know, the way it works on here is that typically I don't like the idea of being known, right? I don't really like that many people know my name. So we talked about how earlier, like as soon as people can be a degen in chat or something, they will. And you know, sometimes I could point it out and be funny about it or whatever. Sometimes I ignore it. I suggest you guys do that as well. But the fact of the matter is this, guys, the majority of people on this server are people that are like me and you, that watch my stuff, know about it, are adjacent to it, have a friend that watches it, something like that. When I started, we had maybe 30 people max. Right now, currently online at like 10 o'clock in the morning American time, 826 people. Y'all got to get online. Let's boost that to 1K because that's the power of this community, and that's what's cool, right? Because what that really means, I said it in my last video, but I really do think this is bigger than all of us, right? Is that nowadays in the community, if we want, right, in the private server community, we could just boost a server, and that's a really big deal for people that want actual success in the scene. At the end of the day, as I say to you guys, P server devs got to make money, man. Money makes the world go around. Now, how greedy you are is a whole different thing, and yes, lots of people are just way too greedy, but the fact of the matter is, if they can't make enough to make it worth their time, it's not going to matter to them at all. Now, some servers will persist anyway. Shinobi Story when they're small, and they're getting bigger now, but they stuck it around. Even Ascension in the early days. Turtle WoW had sub 50 pop for like 3 years, bro, and then we got on there, other people got on there, they kept building on it, boom, now they had 4K peak the other day. It's possible, right, to build it up slow, but it's better when we can just identify something good and make it bigger. And so always keep your eyes out for that now in the future, whether it's Revelation WoW coming back with their new thing, whether it's White Main classless, if that's any good, or something else, always keep your eyes out for that. Anyway, another thing I want to say, we're getting more level 60s, bro. 64 people online are level 60 right now, but we can do better. Most people are trying to get gear, but queue for Warsong Gulch for me, man, or whatever the call to arms quest is, right? Arathi Basin right now, it seems. Let's get in there, guys. Let's test out the balance. Let's see what's going on. Let's fight. You might see me there on my DH, my DK, or a hidden guy that you don't even know. So my plans right now, guys, I think I'm actually leaning more towards DK than DH, but I don't know yet. I know I want to level my monk, though. That might be the next video, getting my monk all the way to level 60. We shall see. But I hope you guys enjoyed just getting a first look at the DK right now on Duskhaven. It's really badass. We played Frost 2H, but we might actually do other specs if you want to see more DK in the future, though. Major thanks to all the members on my channel. I love you guys. Thank you so much for existing. I will update this list in the future, but for now, I will say to all people, whether you've been a member or not, thank you. I appreciate it. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Consider becoming a member yourself, and Mcdoubles out.